Hello and welcome back to the Wii U 5. I really didn't want to give Ubisoft any money for a port I knew was going to be garbage. But as some people know, I put it out there that if I received 50 retweets on this tweet, I'd buy it. As you can see, it happened. Damn it! Watch Dogs arrives on the Wii U 6 months later than its other platform brethren and marks what is supposedly the last mature game coming to the Wii U from Ubisoft. Was Ubisoft smart enough to make their last mature multi-platform game on the Wii U a swan song? Watch Dogs is a third-person shooter with vehicle elements. Unfortunately, I can tell you now that the gunplay isn't so hot. This is mostly attributed to frame rate problems that will be discussed later, but nothing about gunfights is in any way exciting or intriguing in the least. Fortunately, you have the option of going stealth, which I found myself doing to avoid shootouts. When shootouts do happen, you're better off just using explosives with extreme prejudice. And then we hop into the vehicles and nothing better happens. Again, mostly marred by frame rate issues that will be later discussed, vehicle sequences are uninspiring, and cars don't handle with a solid and tangible feel. The car chases themselves don't exactly crank up the heat either, just turning into protracted driving sequences. You really just end up waiting for the opportunity to hack something in the environment. Oh, that's right, hacking, this game's entire motif. Many simple environmental puzzles combine hacking and platforming, which is one of the things that the game manages to pull off correctly. However, and this is to call out Ubisoft's major BS about using the gamepad effectively, all hacking is a single button press. And on the topic of the gamepad, even navigating the smartphone apps is on the TV. The gamepad is just a map and a ridiculously large missed opportunity. Then, in some sort of saving grace, this spider tank minigame ended up becoming the highlight of the show.
I got your back. I'll pick him up.
That spider tank minigame was just one of many things you can do in Watch Dogs. Content is another thing that this game gets right. There is so much side content to go through that a completionist is going to go cross-eyed. The reason there's so much is because the map is admittedly very large. There's a lot of real estate, and thus a lot of things can be done in terms of side missions and minigames. Of course, multiplayer not being a focus, it falls into the content category as stuff you can do on the side. That is, if you can find anyone to play with. There isn't enough time to really go through all of the problems in this area. First and foremost, the frame rate is absolutely abysmal. It will affect your enjoyment of the game, and it will affect your shooting and driving effectiveness. Then, to make matters worse, it's ugly. While it contains a few moments in which I can say it looks decent, it's clear they made very little effort to maximize the Wii U's GPU capabilities, clocking the game in at an 1152 by 648 resolution. The visuals suffer in motion the most, and while you may find pockets of areas that look acceptable, this just isn't a pretty picture. And then the audio doesn't redeem it either, having some sort of odd delay, followed up by a lowered bitrate and overall audio quality that actually made me keep the volume down. And sometimes the audio even begins to skip, no doubt a sign of why the bitrate was lowered in an effort to decrease data bandwidth transmission streaming from the disc. And then, speaking of streaming from the disc, every time you die, you're in for a long loading screen. And you will die because the frame rate makes everything clunky. But, in a more partial save, the game does feature a story that, while a bit contrived, does a serviceable job of entertaining you. The voice acting is also on par for cinematic presentation as well, with Aiden being just average. And then there's Jordy, who is absolutely a delight to listen to with his dark humor.
Do that. Yeah, it's like a practice round. What do you think, fellas? Practice round?
Jordy, I don't need a practice round.
No, just let me get a little clearer.
Jordy!
There's no denying that very little effort was put into bringing this game to the Wii U. It does feature a story you can care about, some fun mini-games that can kill hours of your time, and a massive map to keep you busy. However, plagued by a frame rate that affects the core gameplay, and then lacking any real gamepad usage to make the Wii U version worth waiting an extra 6 months for, buying this game is like getting blown up in the face. I give Watch Dogs a 6.5 out of 10. What the hell? I mean, there were so many missed opportunities to use the gamepad at the minimum for simple taps. That's it for today. Like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and of course subscribe for more Wii U content delivered directly to your retinas. See you next time on the Wii U 5.